I want to talk to you about support and how you actually can generate more support for yourself if you find that you're not receiving it from the people in your life. Life gets really challenging sometimes, doesn't it? It gets really challenging whether we're maybe going through some hardships in life or maybe we're just in a transitional period. Maybe we're doing some personal development, some work on ourselves, and we're wanting to get to this next place and noticing, it doesn't feel comfortable yet, but we know that's where we're headed. And whether we're going through a challenging time or we're in a transitional state, it can be really important to have support to help us get through that period of when we're going through it. So let's say you are looking for that support and you reach out to a friend. So let's say you call your friend and you start telling them the things that you're going through. And after you tell them everything, they say something to the effect of, "Oh, okay, you know what? I actually have to get going because I have an appointment." And so then all of a sudden the phone call gets cut short and you hang up, and that's that. And you didn't really receive that support that you were looking for. Or maybe let's just say your friend didn't know how to respond, or they can't relate, and so they didn't quite say the words that you were looking for. Whatever the outcome of that phone call, or any time you might reach out to a friend for support, if you're not receiving what you were hoping to get, it doesn't mean that they don't care, or they don't, that they're not there for you. What you can do, though, you can actually still generate the support you're looking for by starting within you. So a lot of times when we're looking for things, we kind of reach out to other people or other sources first, and we hope to receive that inwardly, but it's actually the opposite of how we receive anything that we want in life. Abraham Hicks says that anything we want in life is because we believe that in the having of it, we're going to feel better. Like when you break it all down, whether it's a new car, a house, a job, new relationship, anything at all, it's because we believe that in the having of it, we're going to feel better. So what that tells us is that we're actually going about attaining things in a backwards way if we're reaching outwardly first and then hoping to get it. So what we can do about that is actually generate it within first. So how do you do that? Well, you start with the feeling of what it is that you want. So in the case of support, you're looking for support. Think of how would support feel to you. So you might recall other times in your life when you did have support, or if you've never felt that you've had support in your life, that's okay too. Think of what would support feel like. Maybe it would feel like more love. Maybe it would feel like playfulness. There's no right or wrong. What would that feel like to you? So think of what that feeling is and just connect with that first. Connect with that and just feel that in your body. And it doesn't have to be something big and outrageous. It can just be a little feeling. Just connect with it. And once you connect with it, the next step is then to visualize and see what would support look like in your mind's eye. Athletes visualize all the time. When they want to win whatever their sport is, that's what they do. They play the scenario out in their mind. And so you can do the same thing. You can do it for anything, but we're going to just continue with this support scenario. So what would support look like for you? Maybe you see people, calling you. Maybe you see just lots of people around acknowledging you, expressing their care and concern for you, or maybe just saying, "Hey, I'm here. Hey, do you want to hang out?" Whatever it is. Again, there's no right or wrong. You get to be creative with what this looks like. And as you see this in your mind's eye, continue to stay connected to that feeling and allow that feeling to expand. Because here's the thing. Whether or not other people are supporting you yet, you always have access to support. You have access to support from the universe, from God, whatever term you want to use. But you always have access to it. And so this is just a simple way that you can connect with that by first generating the feeling inside, getting a visual interpretation of what support would look like. And then once you do that, just know, trust. I know it's a big word. It takes practice too. So So be easy on yourself if it takes you a while. But know that you will be seeing that support. And it may show up in little stages at first. So whenever there's something we're trying to manifest in our life, support or anything, it's not always that we see all of a sudden that thing right away. You might see it in little bits and pieces. So maybe it's, I mean, literally, maybe it's a bird flying by, and you just sort of know that, I've been heard. Or maybe it's some flowers on the ground, and you know that you love flowers. That is your evidence that your manifestation is on its way. That is evidence that you've been heard. And so allow that to carry you through until you see, until a friend comes to you and shows their support for you, until you meet a new person and they're so excited about the things that you're going through and they're so right there for you. They want you to know that you have their support. Know that it is there for you. And whether or not you're seeing it in the present moment outside of you, you can always generate it within you first. You are loved and supported. You are not alone. And I hope you will carry that with you.